From Fake News Headquarters, Bengaluru, not in front of a live audience, this is One Time Show with Anusha and Raveena.
So how does it feel to be on the show?
It feels amazing to be on the show for the first time and last time at the same time. Anusha?
How do you feel right now?
No, we don't ask them how they feel. We show them what they should feel.
And what's that theory called, kids?
Right. And what is agenda setting?
If you're a regular TV news viewer, you'll be familiar with this.
52 seconds, listen to me.
Question
Tomorrow.
is not of seconds. Question is on imposing. Question is of forcing. Which is undemocratic.
When you say patriotism is in your heart. Then why are you being forced?
Why are you forcing us?
Where's the question of forcing you? If patriotism is in your heart.
Is forcing us.
Where?
If you don't stay.
When was the last time you watched an unbiased discussion on primetime TV? How do you differentiate between daily drama soap and breaking political news?
According to a 2002 Pew Research Center study, the audiences for most forms of television news fell considerably between the years 1993 and 2002. With the audience for nightly network news down 46%, the sharpest decline came among 18 to 24-year-olds.
Even in the 4 years between 2000 and 2004 presidential campaign in US, 18 to 29-year-olds increasingly turned away from mainstream sources of broadcast news, with only 23 saying they regularly learn something from network news.
So are the youth completely unaware of the current affairs?
No. Young people are now turning to another form of news and campaign information. The 2004 Pew survey found that 21% of people ages 18 to 29 say that they regularly learn about news and politics from late-night television and comedy shows.
The National Annenberg Elections survey data further reveals that this audience is more educated, follows the news more regularly, and is more politically knowledgeable than the general population. So I guess you could say staying up for late-night television will keep you woke.
With the improvement in technology and increase in channels, there was an increase in the speed of delivery of information and provided wider access to it. This gave rise to competition to gain more audience, and that came at the cost of accurate reportage. Media ownership was also influential in this matter, breaking down the wall between editorial and corporate as well as the public and private sphere to produce media content packages instead of providing the audience the authentic information.
The Daily Show is a product of these emerging arrangements in the media environment, or what Newman has called the infrastructure of political communication. We can identify three interrelated yet distinct structural transformations, developments on the levels of technology, economy, and culture. It has redrawn the boundaries of journalism and the public sphere.
You simply can't understand American politics in the millennium without The Daily Show.
What is The Daily Show?
The Daily Show is an American late-night talk and news satire television program on Comedy Central. The program looks at politics, pop culture, sports and entertainment through a sharp and reality-based lens. And it covers the top stories of the day using footage from field report and guest interviews to provide fake news that's even better than the real thing.
So this is Jon Stewart's Daily Show.
Yeah.
Do you know what Trevor Noah's Daily Show says?
Yeah. Well, Trevor Noah and the world's fakest news team tackles the biggest stories in the news, politics and pop culture.
And that description was sponsored by Twitter's 140 character limit. Anyway, The Daily Show refuses to take itself seriously and describes itself as a fake news program, drawing its comedy and satire from recent news stories, public affairs, political figures, media organizations, and often uses humor to lighten the mood.
The Daily Show is the epitome of discursively integrated media. It has a hybrid nature of mixing elements of network newscast and late-night show. It gives you information but entertains. Infotainment, like Discovery Channel being a guest on Coffee with Karan.
The show begins each night with a full-screen graphic of the date, an American flag and the globe, accompanied by a music track, serious in tone and suggestive of a network newscast. An unseen announcer then pronounces the date, followed by, "From Comedy Central's World News Headquarters in New York, this is The Daily Show with Jon Stewart." Very much like this show, but with a higher budget, better set, and a crew member that is not limited to one person multitasking. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
I feel so bad for Sam.
By calling themselves fake news and fake news persons, they do not have to stick to the objective reporting as required by the real journalist and can bring in their subjectivity in the news dissemination. It has been successful in terms of resonating with audience about public affairs and politics.
The tag of fake news saves the show from the need to stick to journalistic principles, even while covering news stories. The Daily Show does not follow conventional editing practices and can thereby use the same footage in a different manner for more effective communication. They produce sound bites and video clips that are not trimmed, for instance, to obtain convenient quotes. It resorts to a satire type of presentation using exaggeration and silliness for a humorous slant on political news. They also use undermiming humor that parodies and critiques the news.
We'll start tonight in the Middle East, where Israel...
What? Israel isn't supposed to defend itself?
Oh yeah, if Mexico bombed Texas, will we exercise
What other country is held to the same standard as Israel?
People that want to destroy our territory?
What is the
4,000-year
matter
claim.
with you? It's the only democracy in the Middle East, you turd!
Self-hating Jew?
That was weird. Anyway, what I was saying was last Thursday saw the start of a new ground offensive launched by Israel.
Tradition! Tradition!
Holy.
Although assumed that this would reduce the importance of the political news, it has the opposite effect in becoming an influential source of information.
Though the show seems like a late-night celebrity chat show, majority of their guests who has been on the show are politicians, journalists and policymakers. Keeping themselves away from the journalistic approach allows the host to repeat the questions until there is clarity. Following a conversational style enables to create an atmosphere where the guests are not being questioned but moreover engaged in a conversation where they are expected to be truthful. The aim is to get better understanding of the national problems. Hence, it is not as seen an opportunity to tear down the other side. It is to put forward information and facts to start a democratic discussion, not like
Ocean.
Great churning.
Navy spy.
There is a great churning.
We are holding Kulbhushan Yadav, and he's going to be tried very soon. That's going to happen.
This format of the daily news helps establishing deliberative democracy where there is civil exchange of ideas and the arguments are based on the goal to reach a mutual understanding. This is something that the television news lacks and hinders the democratic process by yelling the same phrase again.
Who are you to decide that? The viewers of the Newshour know me.
And again.
Who are you to decide that? The viewers of the Newshour know me.
And again.
Who are you to decide that? I'll tell you one thing.
And again.
Who are you to decide that? If you don't know that by now.
And again.
Who are you to decide that? If you don't know that by now, Miss Lakey,
and again.
You have no business backing somebody. Okay?
This show aims to penetrate this system of purposefully obtuse political communication and hold the political actors accountable for their words and actions. Like that one time a politician was made to sing Vande Mataram and he proceeded to sing this on live television.
Vande Mataram Sujalam Sufalam Himalayaj Shitalam Sansayam Malyam Subrat Jyotisam Pulkityam Bande Mataram Pulkisata Sumita Dumal Sunamim Suhasin Sumandra Bhusmani Bande Mataram.
No. Newsroom have the power to create public opinion by representing images of events in manner that best suits them. News channels become the political mouthpiece based on their structure of ownership. Most news channels have a slew of panelists yelling at each other about a given topic, but at the end of the debate there is no constructive suggestion or addition to the matter at the hand. Along with screaming panelists, there are a multitude of flashing text boxes with an overload of information. A viewer at the end of the primetime debate is none wiser in spite of the horde of information they were supplied with.
Just as the Daily Show rose as a counter to or as a substitute for the distracting mainstream news, there are counter shows that came up in the Indian context as well. A show that models itself after the pattern of the late night show is The Week That Wasn't on CNN News 18, and it's hosted by Cyrus Brocha. Similarly, the YouTube group All India Bakchod's show On Air with AIB is also a news comedy show that helps find tragedy mein comedy. But the show has now been cancelled in view of the Me Too accusations against two of its co-founders.
Another YouTube channel that uses humor to discuss current affairs is the East India Comedy in the channel segment EIC Outrage. Similarly, the counter to Arnab Goswami's anchoring is the parody character Arnab, played by Bispati Sarkar, on the YouTube channel The Viral Fever. He parodies Goswami's style of newscast and he even has his own version of Frankly Speaking with Arnab as Barely Speaking with Arnab.
And with gems like these provided by Indian politicians,
14 to 15% as soon as possible.
Very good. Question number 385. Sri Ram Tahil Chaudhary is there.
Statement is laid on the table of the House.
Ram Tahil Chaudhary.
There is enough and more content to go around for everyone to find, as AIB used to say, tragedy mein comedy.
ஓடி ஓடி அலைஞ்சு திரிஞ்சு உடஞ்சு முடிஞ்சு ஆரம்பிச்ச இடத்த தேடி வந்து நிற்குண்டா இந்த நொடி வாழ்ந்து நெருவும் இங்க சரியும் இல்ல தவறும் இல்ல போடா.
Thank you so much for being the non-live audience for the one-time show.
For the last time.
And first time.
Ever.
So, you're talking about taking over IEM?
Yeah, let's do it. This went so well, I think we can actually do it. Anyway, they're offline. Let's just snatch it.
Once you're gonna do it also?
Yeah.
No, it was actually. Thank you so much for being the non-live audience for the one last show. What was our show? One-time show. Hey, we can say this together. Thank you so much for being the.
Rolling.
Thank you so much for being the non-live audience for the one-time show.
For the first time.
Between the.
I'll only start.
No. Young people.
Clearly.
Yes. The Daily Show is the epitome of discursively integrated media.
I don't know how this is happening. Why are you getting all the big words?
By calling themselves fake news and fake news persons, they do